Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Rotors garage. Today we're gonna be working on our TR250. We brought our small hands and we're gonna be installing those screws in the fenders. But David blew the fuse, so he went to reset it, and I'm doing stupidities here with his camera. Don't tell him. Uh-oh, lights are back, so he's gonna be back soon. Bye.
Alright, it's Tuesday, and it's certainly a nice sight to see as you round the corner to come into the garage, this sort of semi-assembled car. And we've got the bonnet up here on the table. We're just about getting ready to flip it over and polish the underside. So we might be able to get that on later tonight, at least sitting loosely. I believe we've got Elin coming tonight to give me a hand fitting up the rest of the fasteners for the rear fenders, or at least we're going to give it a shot. And that'll go a big way to getting the rear end wrapped up. And that would mean also that I could probably get the Surrey Backlight on the car. So that could be a lot of progress by the end of this evening if that happens. If I could get the bonnet on and the Surrey Backlight on, that's going to make a huge difference to this car and to the project. That will leave the doors primarily to be worked on. And as mentioned, we've got a little bit of a problem with the door glass that we'll have to rectify before we move forward on that part, but other than that, we're looking to be in pretty good shape. So let's get this bonnet flipped over carefully, and we'll buff the underside and get that ready to go back on the car later this evening. Right, we've got the bonnet flipped over, and we're just taking a quick look at it. And regardless of what I do as far as wet sanding in here is concerned, it's not going to be perfect, because there was some pretty severe rust pitting. I probably should have done some body work on there, but again, it's not a show car. So anyway, we'll make this look a little bit better. Again, it's not going to be perfect. I also have a couple touch-ups I'm just noticing here. Somehow I've got a little bit of damage here. I'm not sure if I did that when I was leaning that up against something in storage, but regardless, it'll just be a quick touch-up. Not too concerned about that, but there's a few little dirt nibs I could probably get out with the wet sanding and a little bit of the orange peel. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that, and we'll make it better than it is currently, and then we'll call this panel done. I still need to put in the underneath the support structure, there's a felt strip that goes in, so we'll reinstall the felt strips after we do the wet sanding. Alright, interior of the bonnet is sanded down to 2500 grit. I just did the flat parts and the inside of the bubble. I'm not doing the front part or any of the support structure. That'll be just too hard to buff out. So got the flat parts done, so we're ready to go with the buffing, and then we'll call this one done. I've got a couple of stickers to put over here, emission stickers, so I've got to figure out where those go at some point. We'll get some rubbing alcohol out and make sure we clean off all the polish before we stick the stickers on. But like I said, I've got to find out the exact location of those anyway. I think I'm missing one of the stickers. I think I have 2 of the 3 stickers, but we'll see what I've got in my inventory inside. Alright guys, the underside of the bonnet is now polished out, and it's not perfect, but it is the underside of the bonnet. It does have some scratches. It probably polished out the worst out of all the panels. I do have one little mark over here to fix. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but I'm not even sure what it is. It almost looks like it's like yellow, like I left a piece of tape on there or something like that. So we'll have to touch that up. And as mentioned, these 2 areas here, I've just realized what those are from. Stupid me. So that's from having the hood on the car. And I've just put this moss thing here because with the hinges down, that will actually probably rest right there. So it's probably rubbing on my radiator cap, and that's what's made those 2 marks there. So I've put this back on here, so when I put the bonnet back on, at least that'll protect that from rubbing against that area. So we'll have a couple little touch-ups there. Other than that, it doesn't look too bad. I did find my Decals stickers, whatever you want to call them, decals, Decals, transfers, and they go, where do they go? Up here somewhere, something like this, something like, and there's one I'm missing that goes in the middle, and then this one goes down below, so those we'll have to put on at some point as well. I'll have to order that middle one if I can find it. So those will look good once they're on there. I think we're going to call this good though. Again, it's not perfect. There are some scratches in it. It is the underside of the bonnet, so it is what it is. All right, so that's ready to go. So I'm going to move on to probably working on the passenger side rear fender, and we'll at least get the light and the badging installed over here. I'm not sure what time Elin's coming, but we can probably work on getting that rest of those fasteners in hopefully later on this evening. But let me work on this side marker light and the badging for this side. It's another one of my buddies. You missed the clear coat stage, bud. All right. All right, so got the stickers applied, and we left room for that missing sticker. So those look good. I'm just about to go back and add in the felt strips underneath some of the support structures. There's some that goes under here. There's some that goes under here. There was a little bit that goes in the corners under here. So what I've done here is I've kept some of the original felt, and this is what it looks like here. So I'm not sure if this is like horsehair or whatever, but what we're going to do is we're going to use some of the original, but we're also going to make some up with this neoprene foam. So this is similar to what I have on my TR6. On the inside of my bonnet I've got a heat shield, and it's this thin neoprene. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of the neoprene in some of the areas as well. In some cases we may need to double it up as far as thickness is concerned, so we'll do that. So we've got the scissors out. We're just going to cut it to those strip diameters, and then we're going to lay some in here in the areas that I think are going to need it. Guy has the radio on so loud you can't hear his car. Aren't you supposed to be listening to the engine in those little things?
Not when you drive them as a daily driver. When you drive them every once in a while, you want to listen to the engine. When you drive them as a daily driver, you're bored. Was I supposed to bring my own drink?
No, you're supposed to bring your cast though.
Don't tell my doctor.
All right, cold beer is waiting in the fridge.
Thanks, yeah.
Probably going to need a couple. All right. No, I don't edit. I take a number of takes, so I've already screwed up the first take. This is the second take. So be on your best behavior now. That's better. All right, we're just about to put the bonnet back on the car. Just got this little rubberized thing here to protect from the radiator cap. I taped off the beading because it's going to be pretty tight, I'm assuming, because I've never fitted the hood with the beading on. So we're just going to do the best we can without scratching it. And look at the inspector over there looking at my work and my overspray that I didn't sand off, that I didn't show anybody, because nobody will ever see it anyway once it's on the car.
I will.
No, you won't. All right, so we'll get the bonnet on first and get it out of the way, and then we can start working on the rear wings after a beer. It's hot, 90 degrees and 40% humidity, so at least the humidity has dropped a little bit, but it's still hot in here. I'm dying.
It's a beer.
I might even have a beer.
Oh yeah?
No. All right, full house tonight. Cheers.
Empty.
Both are empty. Okay, fenders are now on. The passenger side still needs the fasteners on the bottom done, but they're all fastened along the top. So that was a bit of a pain. I can tell you that. We used some of the old fasteners actually because we couldn't actually get access with some of the new fasteners. So anyway, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to probably try to drop the Surrey top on now that the fenders are fastened. So I'm going to go grab that inside while I've got some help out here before they have another beer. We're probably going to try to fit the Surrey on the back here and guide these little J bolts through the rear deck safely, and we'll set that on there and worry about fastening it later. The Hell's Angels, right? It's a little known fact that Les is former Hell's Angels member. I think he's a chapter president. No helmet. No tail lights. Oh, kind of a tail light. Sandals. Missed the gear. But there goes Les. All right, the street lights have come on, so it's time for Elin to go home. His mom's calling him. So we were successful in getting done what we needed to get done, his tiny little hands managed to get up under the back and get all the fasteners fastened up. Something that I couldn't do. So thank you very much for the help.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you again. Drive safe.
Thank you.
All right, just coming up to 9 p.m. Still almost 90 degrees, if you can believe it. Awfully hot to be working out in the garage. Anyway, productive day, productive night. Looking good. So fenders on. Almost bolted up fully. Just got to do the passenger side. Surrey Backlight on, just sitting there loosely. So we'll work on getting that fastened up. In the next few days or so, we've got to fit the hardtop section to align that to the windscreen. So we'll make sure that we do that. Everything is looking really good. The color match on the Surrey looks pretty good to the body tub and to the fenders, so I'm happy with that. As far as the bonnet is concerned, again, it's not bolted up, it's just loosely sitting on its hinges, not bolted to the hinges, but you're not probably going to be able to see this, but the alignment is pretty darn good on my fender stripe. So we'll show you that a little bit better later on once I get this out in the sun. It's kind of hard to see in the garage, but that's looking pretty darn good. So anyway, I guess really happy with the progress on the car in the last couple of days, and we'll continue on over the next few days to get a few more areas of the car buttoned up. Now that the Surrey Backlight is on or close to being on, that means I can finish the rear upholstery again. So I can put the back panels in, the side panels on, etc. So that'll be good to get that whole area buttoned up, and then we can move forward as far as the interior is concerned. So yeah, big day, big milestone. Happy to have those fenders on. I knew those were going to be a pain, so it was great to have Elin here to help me to twist and turn to get up under there. It is not easy on these cars by any stretch of the imagination, so I would have had a really, really difficult time doing that without him. Anyway, that's it for tonight, guys. We'll get back out here tomorrow and we'll continue on.